start to record. Passos, it looks like a beautiful day in Greece, and what a great place to skate.
Yeah, it's a sunny day and I have fun
Wow.
with me here.
I will get started in a little bit. It looks like we have approximately almost 40 people on that have signed up. Now I know that there's a few people or in parts of the world that have good intentions of getting up very early to be on here or very late. They may not make it. So we'll just wait a few minutes. And I think meanwhile, while we're waiting just a few minutes, we're going to watch a good friend of mine. Hey, Ayush, how are you? A good friend of mine, Michael from Australia, he has a program called Inline Plus. It's a TV special. It's a cable access channel. And he's been following the ICP for a while. And his time with the show is coming to an end, and he's doing just some last interviews. And one of the interviews he did recently was with me. So I'm going to just play that just briefly, just until a few more people show up, and I'll share that with everybody. Oh, so happy to be here.
So to start off, the inline certification program, what exactly is it, and what's your role in the program?
So the inline certification program is a program that certifies skaters to become inline skating instructors. It's a program that I have been involved with since the mid-1990s. It's been around since 1991. And I have been the director of the program since the end of 1998, almost 25 years.
How long have you been skating for now?
Well, my mother told me that she brought me to an ice rink when I was 4, which I have no recollection of. And apparently I was pretty good. But then I guess not good enough for her to keep me going, because I wasn't on again until I was probably 8. And at that time, it was a family friend that would come over and take me, and I would skate. If you're familiar with ice rinks and the hockey lines, there's a blue line, and she would tell me to skate up and down the blue line. And that's how I really started to skate, learn to skate. And I was an ice figure skater for many years and started coaching on the ice. I started coaching figure skating, and then now I work a lot. Well, for the last 20 years, I've worked a lot with hockey players, and in between there, I got involved in inline skating.
How did you learn, and how did you find transferring from ice to inline initially?
I think it's seamless, to be quite honest. Obviously, the biggest difference between ice and inline, well, there's a couple differences, but the biggest difference is stopping. And when you're on ice or even on roller skates in a roller rink, you're in a defined area. So even if you don't know exactly how to control your speed, it's pretty easy to grab onto a wall. But when you're on inline skate, especially if you're out skating, you know, exploring your surroundings or out in a park or on a street, you really need to know how to control your speed. So I'd say stopping is like the biggest difference.
What inspired you to become an instructor in the beginning?
Actually, you know, I had already been teaching ice, but I really didn't know a lot about the inline skating industry. And there was a local skating instructor. He actually owned a small skating business in the park, who was one of the original van drivers for the company Rollerblade. And I had seen his advert for skating lessons. So I just called him up and I said, hey, I know how to skate. I know how to teach. Can I come teach for you? And he says, no, well, I'd love to have you, but you need to get certified. So he pointed me into the direction of the inline certification program at that time.
And you ended up becoming the leader of it at the moment.
Yeah, it's interesting how that happened. Yeah, I really, to be quite honest, my very first experience wearing gear and all of the things that you need to do. I mean, even putting the helmet on wasn't something I was familiar with prior to the certification. So I learned a lot very quickly. Luckily, I also had a teaching background. I had a degree in elementary ed, and I had been teaching skating. So I had some of the elements, but what I was missing was really understanding the inline skating as a sport itself. So I learned quickly, and I've been doing it for 25 years.
So what do you enjoy most about inline skating?
All right, so I think that's enough of that for now.
Cool.
And I will share the video with everyone. I just finally, Michael just finished that up, so I will be sharing that with everyone. So welcome, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the annual ICP instructor meeting. It's so wonderful to see so many of you from around the world that are here today. And if everybody could right now just go ahead in, there's those three dots up on the right-hand side of your picture frame, your little picture frame. And if you could just rename yourself to your first name and to your country, that way we'll get an idea where everyone is from. And a little later, we are going to be breaking into groups where you're going to be talking to one another and introducing yourself. And we'll need to know where you're from so we can kind of group people with language, that have the same similar language, etc. So it's so wonderful to see so many of you this morning. I'm so happy that you're here. As I said, my name is Chris Fondren, and I think pretty much everyone here knows that I'm the director of the ICP. To start this morning, I just like to single out a few people who have been instrumental in this past year into promoting the program and helping deliver the program, promote the program, and create a vision for 2022 and way beyond that. So I'd like to just first just bring up Krista Highbush from Virginia, USA. She, as many of you know from being on programs, she was actually my examiner for level 2. Krista, can you just quickly say hi to everyone?
Hello, how's everyone doing? I'm Krista. I live in Arlington, Virginia, just outside of Washington, D.C. And I first got certified in 1992 and have had the honor and privilege of certifying and meeting skating instructors throughout the world ever since. And we're thoroughly excited with how the direction of the program is going and supporting skaters around the world, both virtually and in person. So thank you all for being here today.
Thanks, Krista. Mike.
Hi, everyone.
Skinny
Yeah.
Mike.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mike. Yes, I guess if you have seen the ICP skating videos, some of my skating skills are there. If you want more updates, please ask and we'll share more videos. And I'm very happy that the ICP is getting more and more traction on media. We're going to do that more the next year.
Thanks, Mike. And Tommy.
Hello, good evening from Indonesia. Hi, my name is Tommy Sugiarto. I was certified in 2009, so I'm a little bit younger than pretty much all my seniors. It's such an awesome experience to be here. Number one. Number two is that a lot of the things that I think ICB brings to the table is shared throughout the world, and it's so interesting to see how this benefit is felt by a lot of people from a lot of countries across the world. So this is a phenomenon that I think is unique, and I'm just savoring this experience.
Thanks, Tommy. And I'd like to introduce Mairead. She is one of our newest certified instructors. She's an apprentice examiner, and she has been integral in the last few months with marketing.
Hi. So I did my certification at the end of 2020. And I've been trying to do as much as I can to try and help with the marketing, sharing your profiles when they were tagged, and a little bit of the blog as well. And that's it. I'm from the UK, but I live in Poland, so that's why I've got Poland here.
All right, thanks, Mairead. And then Cody. Cody's been integral in our e-learning platform.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm from Arkansas in the US. I was certified in 2020. I've been, I guess at the same time, pretty much, Chris, I joined the team as well right after the certification happened, and I've been working on the classes as well as the website and other back-end needs. So it's been good so far. Looking forward to another great year with the ICP.
All right, thanks, Cody. And I think that's our main team that's been really helping this last year. And I'd also just like to recognize a few examiners that are on the call. And I'd like to recognize Gordon, who is the longest, well, I think Gordon and Krista are the longest examiners over, we're talking like 30 years, practically. Gordon.
Hey guys, I'm the Texan in Hong Kong, and very happy to see such amazing talent coming up through ICP, and know that each of one of us is trying to grow the sport. Krista and I and Chris have been involved since in the big boom, and then it kind of dropped down, and luckily for COVID, where now it's skating's picked up again. And I'm really glad to see that more and more people are wanting to get certified and wanting to learn how to skate.
Thanks, Gordon. And Asha, I saw you and where'd you go? There you are.
I'm here. Hey, Chris. Hi, everyone. It's really wonderful to be here. I apologize, I didn't bring my ICP t-shirt to Uganda. I'm here visiting for a couple of months. I just arrived a couple of days ago. So yeah, I'm very impressed with how ICP has, transitioned to delivering this incredible certification online. It's very impressive, and I'm excited to meet a whole bunch of, the new generation of instructors. So yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks, Asha. And I think in the very darkness of 3 o'clock in the morning, James O'Connor is here from Hawaii. He's gotten up. So James has been, he's been on the examiner track for a while with us, and in and out of doing studies. He comes and sees us a bit, and then goes off and does all his work to promote skating in Brisbane. So go ahead. Are you there? Where?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. I'm so sorry about my screen, and likewise, sorry about not having my ICP shirt. But I'm here in Hawaii, and it's 3 a.m. in the morning. But I wanted to join this call, and I've been involved with the ICP since the year 2000. And yeah, really happy to promote the ICP, and yeah, I've been really enjoying teaching in Sydney and Brisbane in Australia.
All right, welcome. And then I think Natalia just came on. I'm not sure if she can be seen or not, but Natalia from Spain is also on the call. And then I just real quickly, I want to just recognize a couple of longtime instructors who are here today. Frank from Slovenia. Many of you may have seen the recent blog post that Mairead did on Frank. He is one of our most celebrated instructors, getting certified back in 1999 and bringing the program to Slovenia, where he every single day, as many days as he can, and nearly 365, he skates around his city, Portorož and Piran, Slovenia, and he wears the ICP proudly. So he is our skating billboard, which we really appreciate. So thank you so much, Frank. And I also want to recognize Charles Bell, who's a longtime instructor in the US. So Charles, thank you so much for coming on today. I don't know, you probably were certified 20 some years ago, right? 25 years ago? You're muted. You're muted right now. Yeah, you're still muted. That's okay, but welcome. We're so happy that you're here. So we're going to go ahead, and I think I'm sorry if I missed anybody. I apologize, but thank you so much for being here, everyone. And we're going to just start really quickly. I'm going to give you just a really quick overview of what we did in 2022. Then we're going to get into some breakout rooms, because one of the main things that we love about ICP is that look at the people on this call. We're on like almost every continent except Antarctica at the moment, I think. And we're going to get a little chance for you to get together and just to talk a little bit, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that. So in 2022, we had we did probably 4 or 5 online programs, 4 or 5 online programs. Things have slowed down a little bit for the online program. I think initially people were really excited, and I think people are excited that it's available, but money's been funny for a lot of people. And I think that's kind of why things kind of slowed down a little bit. But to be honest, it's actually it's a good pace for me and for others that have been working on it, because it takes a lot to really make sure that this program is a good representation and turns out good instructors. So it's actually a perfect pace for us. We did a few working with children workshops, which I know some of you attended, and those were really fun. I think that's one aspect that many of us, unless you've been a parent or you have a teaching background, kids can sometimes be challenging working with children. So those workshops were great, and we hope to be doing more of those in 2023. We're really excited. We have currently a level 2 pilot program happening, and it was truly a hybrid program. We conducted it, we started it online, and a group of us were in Washington, DC, conducting the program. And at the same time, we had people who were outside of the US, and that program is still going on. So that one's a little trickier. For those of you that have taken the online program, we do a lot of virtual teaching. And with level 2, because of the skills that are involved, crossovers and just bigger skills that require more space, it's a little bit difficult to do that kind of move, stop, turn in front of a screen. So that we're tweaking a little bit of that program, and that program is a little bit more about having to send in more videos. So we're working on that. So know that's in the works, and we will have level 2 that's open to the world in the early 2023. And the last thing that we're really working on right now, and Cody is going to speak just briefly on it, we've been talking about it now maybe for more than one meeting, is the new website. And many of you know who've been involved with the online platform. We are going to be moving our new website to the Kajabi platform, which allows us to integrate all the programming that we've been doing. So people who become part of the ICP will also have direct access to programming. So we are planning on having two different, whoever's on the Galaxy, probably if you could mute yourself, because I can't mute you. Somebody's on the Galaxy 6. We're going to have 2 main websites. We'll have the skatinginstruction.com, and then we're going to have the inline certification program separate. So Cody, can you just talk just briefly about what we're planning on with the new website?
Sure. Actually, I'll speak a little bit too to the delay. So we've been talking about it for at least one of the meetings so far, and ultimately what happened there is that we didn't want to lose any features in moving over to the new platform. So we were trying to maintain as much as we could for the current features and functionality. So effectively, just recently, there's been some new updates from Kajabi that are really positive, things that we think are going to definitely help out in rebuilding our features, form, and functionality. And one of the main things that we didn't want to lose was the global instructor directory. So that's the last thing that we really have to functionally move over to the new website. And then once we get there, there'll be some back-end kind of hosting changes, and then we should be able to premiere with the new site. It'll have a new look, as you're seeing here in the background. There's a preview going on. The new site's more up to date. It doesn't have like the look and feel of more like the 90s type website. It's something that, you know, pops. It definitely has a more modern narrative. As well, it gives us new tools to work with our potential instructors. It gives us new ways to reach out to the existing instructors. So I think it's going to make for a much stronger community. So I'm really looking forward to premiering that and seeing how it's accepted.
All right, thanks so much, Cody. All right, so I think what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and move into breakout rooms. And I just want everyone to know that we're going to make these rooms random, and we're going to have three of us will be going around and just making sure that people are talking to each other, introducing themselves, and I'll give you the parameters of that in a moment. And if there's any issues with language, we'll try to move people that speak the same language fluently into the same group. So let me just show you here. So this is the goal for these rooms. This first breakout room, show you. So the goal here is for each person to introduce themselves for 2 minutes, tops. Where you're from, how long you've been teaching, and if you're certified with the ICP, and if you're not, where did you learn your training, or are you planning on being certified? Because I do know there's a few people on our call today that are not through the ICP. How long have you been teaching? And if you can give a highlight from 2022, something that's been challenging for you, and what you're looking forward to. And I'm going to ask that somebody in each group could possibly be the recorder and just give a little synopsis, because we're going to come back together. And this really is the opportunity for us to see what people are doing and to see if there's somebody here on this call today that you're like, I really need to connect with this person. They seem to be doing something really exciting, and I want to know more about that. And that's one of the wonderful things about the ICP is that you have this wealth of knowledge of people who've been teaching and having businesses for 20, 30 plus years. And we are here to hopefully share all that with everybody. So I'm going to go ahead and try these breakout rooms. Now, we're only going to be in them for about 15 minutes. And then we'll come back together. We'll do a quick review, talk a little bit more about some new things, and then we'll move back into another room again. So I'm going to go ahead and start to create these. And let's see. I want to be able to make them random, and I don't know if I can do this. Oh, here we go. So they're all unassigned. I don't know. Can somebody hop on here with me and help me do this? I wanted it to be random, and I don't know if it's that easy.
Okay,
Should
now the
be-
list is. Oh.
Yeah, you can go down the list, and each person you can hit assign to, and then just do them in theoretical order. So 1, 2, 3, 4, because there's 4
Okay.
breakout rooms.
Okay. Okay, got it. I'm just gonna do it like this.
Welcome to technology.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. I'm moving you. You're all moving. So just join and we'll see how this works. This is all new stuff. I've done breakout rooms, not such big breakout rooms, so I apologize that I'm not as savvy as I probably could be. But here we go.
Grace, when you have a moment, can you make Mike co-host
Yes, I can.
after this? Yeah.
We need more people in room 2. Let's get
Sure.
rid and fill up in room 1 for some reason.
Okay. Okay. More in room 2. Oh, here's more people. Oh, I see. There's a lot in 1. Now I'm seeing what I'm doing. Got it. Maybe I should make a couple more rooms, but.
Can we
Okay,
pause the recording?
yeah, I will. I'll pause it. Thanks.
On anyone. Like I try to be pretty I try to be pretty strong on this. So here we go. So first of all, we had Afrisa. She was joining us from Indonesia, specifically in Jakarta. She works with Tommy over there, and they had a pretty interesting challenge. And I know the kind of the legal landscape has changed there, but as leaving that particular portion of things alone for the moment, just spreading out the knowledge and use or popularizing safety equipment is a challenge there. So that's a real tough one, especially for us. So best of luck to them with that, but I'm sure that's a challenge in a number of countries, and it's definitely something that if we can at all help with, definitely let us know. Andrew, we had joining us from Washington, D.C. here in the U.S. He's been teaching since the 90s, and the biggest thing that they've had going on most recently is that they've had some street fair type gatherings and things like that. And they've been kind of beating the streets a little bit and getting some natural marketing going on. So that's been going really well in that area. And I hear that it's continuing to expand. So that's good news. Benjamin was joining us from Kenya. He personally started skating in 2016 and joined the ICP or started working with us in 2018. Some of the challenges in Kenya that were pretty interesting were, first of all, there's some challenges with setting a price point for good education, which I can imagine could be really challenging with some of the things going on there from an economic standpoint. And then also, interesting point, he brought up that infrastructure was a problem. It's hard to find places to train. So if that's something that also is a problem for you, there is a survey that we're going to be filling out today. Definitely let us know if you have certain challenges like this, because if we can provide content that'll help you to address those things, we would really love to. Like ways to train away from good infrastructure, ways to train when you're, not able to get to a parking lot or something like that, etc. I'm sure you can imagine we've got lots of options. All right. Next up, we had Charles. Now, this was an interesting one. I was not prepared for this one. So during our meeting, we found out, so Charles had started with us in 1995, or I'm sorry, let me see. He started skating in 91, started with a certification in 1995, the certification program in 1995, and actually certified a month before Chris, which I thought was a pretty interesting detail. He had, I think, certified in March, and Chris had certified in April. Is that correct?
Something like that.
95.
Mhm.
Excellent, excellent. So that was pretty interesting. So, met some royalty today, as it turns out. Also, next up we had, and actually, Charles, do you mind if I talk about why you're not instructing currently? Is that okay? It's okay. All right, excellent. So unfortunately, Charles has been unable to teach recently because of his father's health. He's been taking care of him in that situation. So obviously, those sort of things can be tough. So Charles, we hope you get back to instructing soon, of course, but best of luck with that situation, and I hope it goes as smoothly as possible for you. And then we had Irina in our room as well, and she's from the Ukraine right now, and she's currently coming to us from Germany. And I did want to talk about this particular case because this is something that affects a lot of us, because we have a lot of people here representatively from Europe. And something to keep in mind as the Ukraine situation continues to go on is that there's a lot of different groups, fugitive. How should I say? There's a lot of refugees in a lot of different areas. Fugitive was the wrong term. So refugees in different areas. With the children that are in those areas, if you're teaching in those areas and you get an opportunity to, definitely reach out to some of those groups and see if you can help out. Doing something like teaching skating or classic sports really helps kids kind of come back to a more simple mindset. And after they've been through a lot of trauma, like in the situation that's going on right now with Ukraine, it really, really helps to have normal situations occur. And if you can do anything to help provide that sort of scenario in that area, it'd be super helpful. Really, really a need right now. All right. So I think that's everything for our room, Chris.
Okay, so we're going to just take a quick break and we'll come back with the other two groups with the synopsis. And I think what we're going to do, our second breakout room may not be a breakout room. It just may be a big session of talking about what you'd like to see and how you think you might like to be more involved with the ICP. And if you don't, well, let's just take a break. But during that break, could you please fill out this questionnaire? There's a link to it. If you click on it in the chat, it'll open it up, and you can fill it out during the next 5 minutes. So please go get a coffee or a tea or a glass of water, and we'll be back here in about 5 or 6 minutes. Thank you. for room 2. Are they back? How about room 4? I think we did 1 and 3. So either 2 and 4?
Hi guys. I
Hi.
think I was room 4. Gordon, not sure.
Oh,
Maybe room 4.
Gordon, I think you were in room 4. You're muted.
Yeah,
Gordon.
yes, we were in room 4. Ayush.
Yeah, sorry. I wasn't sure which room we were in. Sorry for that. Hi everyone. So in our room we had Tazos. He's from Greece. Right now, currently he's at a skate park himself at a beautiful day, and he's been teaching since 2018. And uh, he also he focuses on various techniques such as speed skating and all. And he works with other person right now, a friend of his who is also there with him on the skate park, who introduced him to ICP back then. Then we have Eric from Mexico. He started in the pre-pandemic 2020. He focuses on various techniques such as sorry, I just asked him that. I missed that. Yeah, having fun with games, and also asking students to do other stuff, so that's competitions and all that. Then we have Catherine from Panama. She started in the mid-pandemic again, the rise of skates in between that. And after that, she has been teaching with 6 to 12-year-olds. At first she found them cute, starting with really cute, but now she really knows how they are and how tough it gets with kids at times. Then we have Gordon. He is the most experienced person we had in the group. He's been certified in '93. He has run multiple schools across US and now in Hong Kong as well. Now he's in Texas. And the most thing he loves about to teach, to spread the love of skating, and for kids, to transition from having control to actually learning how to stop with the speed. And me, I've been with you guys since 2020. 2021, I was certified, and then I've been teaching alongside with James in Sydney for the last 1 year, but I've taken a break since that. I'm focusing on a full-time job as well. So yeah, and we also had Natalia. She is not here anymore in the chat, but she has a team of instructors in USA, and then she focuses on speed skating. And recently, she broke her tibia around 6 months back, and she's getting back slowly.
All
Very
right.
good. Thank you.
Thanks, Ayush. And I think it's group 2. Who is our group 2 leader?
Let me just share a little bit about group 2. Group 2, all of them have been skating many years and they've been teaching many years. So I think that sums up most of them. Just quickly share, Michael is based in New York, and Thomas is based in Poland. James is based in Australia. So we got everywhere. I'm based in Singapore, and Murray is in Poland. So one thing I heard that the Thomas is actually can dance and actually created dance and skates moves. So just want to share, I tried to dance with skates and it doesn't work. So it's easy for dancer to learn skating than skater to learn dancing. Yeah.
I share that experience.
Maybe Murray want to share a little bit more about Poland and ICP.
Yeah, so I have to say that actually Thomas didn't finish what he was saying, but he's been aware of ICP for quite a while. So this is quite exciting that we want to try to bring ICP a bit more to Poland. The huge skating community here. The night skatings that they've got are massive, thousands of people in Warsaw, where I am. But in each major city, I would say, in Poland. So we're really excited that one plan we can already share. I think it's okay with you, Chris, if we can share that ICP will be in Poland. And we're hoping, can I say the second possible plan, that we would like to try to get like a kind of like an instructors meeting in person. And we thought that Poland might be the perfect place because it's kind of central for the European community, of course. Of course, other continents are very welcome, but we know that it's quite far. But yeah, so that's exciting plans and connection with Thomas. Yeah.
Yeah, and And James is a super teacher, so he's teaching
Yeah.
even for ICP. And again, he's based in Australia. And just to share, Fender Lemon, he's now in UK. He's afraid of stepping into Asia's territory, but let me share that a lot of times ICP instructors can collaborate. Maybe with that, you have even a bigger market in that way. So he's a GP. We have a doctor in the house. So I guess he'll be the only doctor says that skating is safe.
And he's skating with his helmet on, or he's going somewhere right now.
Yeah, I also marshal on the Sunday stroll and Friday night skates. So I'm on my way there now. So I might have to drop off. But,
that's awesome.
I tried to get the headsets to work, but they're not in my ear. Well,
yeah,
they're just not connecting. So
all
not
right.
me to do it the old-fashioned way.
We can hear you.
And good to see Tassos. I forgot to share, Mike, that I sent a patient, a student.
Oh, well, that was that. I think that's all.
To Greece. I sent him Tassos' way, so I hope you go.
Oh, good, good.
Yeah, great to see you, Mother Lemon. I'm going to hear from you.
All right. Well, hey, thank you so much. Thanks for being on. Thanks so much, Pantalon. I really appreciate it.
We are international, aren't we?
Yeah, we are very international. That's it. Thank you so much. Okay, so I think that pretty much summed up the groups. I know this hour and a half is flying by, and I just want to talk about a couple things that are on the horizon for 2023. And then instead of going into another breakout room, we're just going to ask everyone to just put in the chat, and you can start doing that a little bit right now, like what you would like to see. What do you like about what's going on with ICP? And what you would like to see going forward. And if you'd like to, be on an examiner track, would you like to help, train instructors to get ready for the ICP? How do you see yourself being more involved? And we would love to have more of you involved regularly. So start thinking about that. But while you're thinking about that, I do want to share something that's pretty exciting. In the last year, I have been working very closely with an organization called Safe Sport International. So about over a year ago now, I was looking for some kind of safe sport training. And I don't know how many of you are familiar with safe sport, but safe sport training has to do with safeguarding children. In the US, it's a very prominent program. It's US Safe Sport. And every single person who works with a child who is in a governing body of a sport, so it doesn't matter if it's American football, European football, figure skating, hockey, high school sports, you have to get safe sport trained. And as you all know, we talk about safety, fun, and learning, safety being paramount in ICP. And I feel that this is an element of safety that we were unable to really impart to all the instructors. And it's very important because parents bring their children to us to help keep them safe, to teach them skating safely, but there's another component to that. And as coaches, we need to make sure we're safe because the world is changing and people are going through lots of different things. And we just need to make sure that we keep children safe, keep ourselves safe. So I reached out to Safe Sport International, and they're a very similar organization as ICP in that they're very international. So they're not a governing body of safe sport, but they're made up of people around the world who have training in safeguarding, who have developed training, who promote safeguarding, and they want to make sure this training can get out to people around the world. So for example, the US Safe Sport training isn't available to people outside of the US. It's not available unless you're in one of the governing bodies of sport in the US. So they had a platform and I tried to join it and I couldn't. And I wrote an email and I said, hey, we really would love to have this, but it's not accessible. And I got an email from the director saying, hey, can we have a Zoom call? And we had a Zoom call, and now I've been helping them create the platform so it can be open to the world. So It's a great content, but the way they had envisioned it just did not translate right away for people to be able to access the information. So I'm just going to quickly just show you this. So Tilo, who's on this call, he is our very first person who is ICP, who's going through the ICP level 1 program, who has taken this course.
Hello and welcome to iProtect from Safe Sport International. I'm Wilma King, Chair of the Safe Sport International Education, Training and Consultancy Committee. I'm delighted to introduce iProtect to you. We have created iProtect to make quality safeguarding learning freely available across the sports sector, essential to anyone engaged in any level of sport and activity. To demonstrate our commitment to raising awareness of safeguarding in sport, iProtect is content-rich and will always be available free of charge. iProtect offers the only whole club approach to safeguarding learning. We have developed the service in response to messages received from many people across the sporting world, including athletes and specialists. Alongside the whole club approach, we are delighted to now offer individual access to all iProtect learning content. This learning will increase your awareness.
Sorry about that. I didn't mean to do that.
Now offer to any safeguarding concerns within your team, club, or organization. Additionally, individual access will help you understand safeguarding within the context of a specific role. For example, as a coach or parent or as an athlete. Overall, iProtect provides an invaluable learning opportunity, equipping you to establish a safe environment protected from abuse where sport can be enjoyed to the full. Ready to take the next step?
So as I said, so what we're going to be doing, and actually Moraid, she was one of our pilot people who went through the program. She went through and did a little editing and found typos, etc. Because I helped bring we moved everything to a new platform. So what we're going to be asking people who come through the ICP now is to take the Safe Sport training. So everybody who's level 1 will take the initial course. It's just the introduction course. It's an introductory course. And then from there, if you're interested, there's additional courses. So this is the introduction. It's just basic. It's the basic vocabulary of safeguarding, giving you an overview of probably some of the things you may not even realize have gone on, that go on and have gone on. And just to make sure that you're aware of when you are with children, how you are conducting yourself and conducting classes so that there's no misunderstandings of any intention. So from there, there's actual specific courses for coaches, say sport managers. So those of you who have skating schools, you may want to have other people take the courses as well, people who are working in your organization. There's always a safeguarding officer. So those, again, many of you are involved in clubs. Having one person that's the club officer, the safeguarding officer that people can go to with problems. Then if you have a leadership team, etc. So there's programming, and then there's programming for families as well. And this is the individual route. For those of you, we just launched this on this past week. There's a club approach. So if you had a skate school and you wanted to say everyone in our skate school or everyone in our club has been Safe Sport trained, then you would go through this club approach, and there's a registration, and it's just a little bit more complicated. But it's a great tool for people to have so that they know that not only are we teaching people safely as skating instructors, so teaching them the sport safely, but that we're also having a safe environment for everybody who's participating. I'm not going to go too much more into that, just to let you know that after 2023, this will be something that everyone will have to take to continue with their affiliation with ICP. So there'll be two things going after 2023. So not in 2023, because this is a slow thing. We haven't had continuing education. We haven't had much beyond annual registration for many years. It's been very hard to manage, but now that we have this, we're getting a more robust and rich e-learning platform. So we're able to have these meetings, which are great educational tools, as well as having some content for all of you to be able to review and to learn more. But we will be asking people to have safe sport training, either in your own country if you have it, or you take through the Safe Sport International, as well as first aid training. So this is many of you, how many people, raise of hands, have first aid and CPR in their country? So for those of you who don't, and if you don't have it readily available, Moraid's soon-to-be brother-in-law has created a course for the ICP, and I think it's just about ready, right, Moraid?
Yeah, it is. It is. We've got to add a few more bits because I've had a look at, so that you also know that we're trying to make it as what's the word I'm looking for, as credible as possible. So I've looked at different countries and different places, mainly Europe, to make sure that it's credible. He is a qualified paramedic, so he's got training, and he's also training to be a doctor. So he's, you know, in the medical community, and that's what we're putting together. It's almost finished. A few more things to add to make it really credible, and then hopefully it will be available to everybody. Oh, there we go.
There we go. So she's worked really hard on this. And again, this is a backup. So this isn't a substitute for anything that you would have to take in your own country, but it could be some additional information. And for those of you that aren't able to get any kind of first aid, this will be something that we're going to ask that you show proof of. So you either would take our course or you would take, you know, something in your own country. So those are two things we've been working on, and we're hoping to continue to bring more opportunities. And from what Moraid said, she said a couple of you have already put in from the survey that we just sent out, that's what you'd like to see. You'd like to see more opportunities, workshops, etc. And this is what we're trying to create. From here, we are getting, oh geez, we don't have very much time left. It always goes so fast. The next thing I just want to talk about, Tommy from Indonesia. He has, for the last, I don't know, 10 years in his own way and in different ways, has been putting together something called the PrEP program. And we've done it in different countries where we've gathered people who are interested in the program, and we give them some of the basics of the teachable skills and teaching them how to teach and how to skate, you know, really working on their skating skills. But Tommy's taken a step further and really formalized a PrEP program. And this is something that ICP will also be doing next year, as well as, so we can bring in more people. There seems to be a lot of people that check out the ICP, but for whatever reason, maybe they don't know if they have the skills for it. So this PrEP program really gives them an overview of what to expect for the course and provides them with the information and just a little bit of training so that when they come in, they'll feel confident. Tommy?
All right, thank you very much for the opportunity. So in Indonesia, we don't have a big skate class culture. What we do have is a huge club culture. And the club culture is always geared towards competition. So the way they conduct the first class isn't the most safest, or isn't the most professional way. And that has been a very big gap in the market, where when we started to do our skate school, a lot of the international schools responded like, finally, there's somebody who actually conducts the classes in a professional setting. And when I dug in deeper is that it's not that they don't need it. They need it just because every time there's a gathering of skaters, especially as kids, that draws parents to them and wanting to go to join a class. But the moment I tried ICP level 1 with them, the first time I did it, I attracted about 20 participants. 5 of them could not skate. And then the other 15 could skate, but only at a sufficient level or at a competition level. Whereas the moment I tried to get them to do an A-frame term, you know, although we had done it for the 2 days continuously, nobody could execute it really right. And so the passing rate for the participants was only 1 out of 20. And so I saw that, you know, there might be another way to look at it, because ICP essentially is 2 things. You certify people, but you actually educate them. And so what I tried to do is try to get the education part in a more friendly way so that people can come on board without feeling that they're going to immediately be tested on a certain level. And that has actually brought a certain people who I never thought would have wanted to take the program started taking programs. Parents of kids in a club or organizers or part of a roller sports organization want to know what is this certification all about, can take the prep program to understand what it is about in a more fuller way. So we have had success that helped bridge so that once they have taken the prep program, they're more ready to take the level 1 international, and they can actually execute the classes at that international level. But as Risa has told everybody, is that, you know, just getting everybody to put the helmet on and not skate around the whole place without a helmet is very difficult to get them to do. So it's that trying to adjust the culture again, trying to introduce the culture. And I know everybody around the world has this kind of issue. And what we're not trying to do is, I don't want to present ICP as being stuck up, but we want to actually introduce the culture of being professional. And that's what I want to try to communicate. So this prep program, I believe, has worked for us, and I hopefully it will work for anybody around the world.
All right, thanks, Tommy, for that overview. So, and I think it will also bring more people into the ICP, and it will bring much needed, I think, some much needed funding. As many of you know, most of us are working as volunteers, and we really rely on now the online program and the few in-person programs. We're just starting to gear those back up for 2023. We have one in May in Poland. We have one already in Sao Paulo in March that's set. And I know there's a few others. Spain and Greece will probably come on with a program, and Singapore, of course. So, and I think hopefully Arkansas, USA will get their program going this year. But really, we encourage, you know, everyone to, you know, continue to promote the ICP through what you're doing, through teaching other people, to telling people about it. And of course, you know, and I'll make a plug for paying your nominal annual registration. It really helps to fund the platform and the learning platform and their day-to-day operations. So next, that's all I'll have to say about that. And you'll be receiving some kind of something in the mail very soon from Oraid, I'm sure. So now I just would like to just take a moment to just really quickly, Tommy, to go back to Tommy again, to just do a quick highlight. Tommy is doing something very exciting. And Tommy, if you can just tell everyone in about 2 minutes. You're muted.
Okay, I'm sorry I'm taking everybody's space, but it's been a very interesting year and there have been so many updates. So just to introduce everybody. So what we have done is, because we're skating in Indonesia, we have a skate school, and then we have clientele which are schools, international schools, and we also have clientele on the weekends. We have privates, and what has happened is that we have had the difficult time trying to find access towards skates. I know it sounds funny, but trying to find products in one brand that can work together, because Indonesia is a pretty isolated country, and to find and to actually figure out a way that the business can work. We ended up partnering up with a company that requested us to actually think about, if we were to start something, how would we make it scalable?
Hey,
and
Tommy, sorry to interrupt you, but you're showing us the Zooms. There we go. Thank you. Now we got it.
And so now basically we have launched our own inline skate brand. So what we have done is, for the years that we've been doing classes and what we've been doing with inline skating, what we decided to do is to really build a brand ground up from what we need. And so I would like to take the time, I'm not gonna, you can spend time to come onto the website. And for me, what I would like to take the time actually is to provide information that this brand called Rodi, what we're looking to become is not only to sell on the, we're starting to sell on the retail side in Indonesia, but what we were planning to do is actually to be a wholesaler for instructors and skate shops and businesses pretty much anywhere in the world. So what we would like to do, because this is such a young brand, this is such something that is new, I want to build it, continually build it up from the grass up. And I actually want to ask you, all the instructors anywhere in the world, if you would like to see, what would you like to see a skate brand do? How can we fulfill your needs? How, most of you will have a list line of things of what would you want to actually say bluntly to a skate brand that you can't do to the other skate brands. This, because I'm heavily involved in development of how to actually set it up, and we plan to do this on a long term and really build it up. I would like to invite everybody to just give me your true sense on what would you like to see, if you would like access. I know for some countries it's very difficult to find inline skates, particularly let's say in Africa, and we would like to do is find solutions and bridge those gaps so we can actually help the skate scene develop and see the industry forward. In the chat room, I put the email of our corporate email. So please send me anything that you like interested. Price list, that's a given. We'll make sure that they're ready very soon. But other things like you would like to see these type of products, you would like to see these types of accesses, or these are the things that you want to see when these types of support is something that you would like to see. And for me, it's a great opportunity. Like I said in the chat, you know, Krista was saying that, Tom, you're doing so great. Well, for me, I'd actually like to say, how can I make myself better and how can I help serve the inline skating sport? And one of the things I really want to support are basically not only my instructors that work at my skate school, but fellow instructors that are around the world.
Thanks, Tommy. And then just one last thing before we just kind of maybe go around if anyone has any comments of what they'd like to see. I did put a few things in the chat, a couple questions. If you want to just answer in the chat, Mike can call some of the responses out. But next, Moraid, and many of you know, for the last 5 years or so, the ICP has been promoting snow skating. And for those of you who have been around since the 90s, you know, it started out as Sled Dog Snow Skates. There's another brand out there now. And now the brand that we're working with is Thompson Snow Skates. And this is just so much fun. And I know a lot of you are in climates that you're not going to get to see too much snow ever. But Moraid's been working as their marketing person a little bit from the instructor standpoint anyways, and helping to create some opportunities for instructors to get their hands on a pair of these and to maybe make a little bit of money. Moraid, do you want to just quickly 2 minutes?
Yeah. So the good thing is that as instructors, we get 30% off until the end of this year. So if you're interested, the season started, I recommend it for sure. To give it a try. There's 100% satisfaction guarantee on them. So that's also really great. My side, I've been putting together the course. We have an introduction to the course at the moment, which the idea is later that if you buy this introduction, then you get this amount of money off of your of the level 1 that we're almost finished with as well. That's the second thing that we're doing. So as an instructor, and I think it's really great because many parts of Europe, America as well, right? They cut off for this season unless you've got somewhere with a roof, which not everyone has. In Europe, in Asia as well, right? You've got big slopes too, as far as I know. So again, gets colder, can't skate outside or difficult, but then you can try to get onto the slopes. And there has been a transfer of some people with the others. They started with snow skating and then they decided to do inline skating. So all year round, you've got customers. So as instructors, it's great, but also looks like great fun, right?
Yeah, and it is, and you know, and so, you know, Natalia, who's on the call, I think she's still on the call, Mike, and a few others have also been around, and myself, when between the last 5 years, we've gone around and we've actually put together the programming, and it's move, stop, turn. It's the same teaching model because the teaching model works. And it's been really fun for me because I'm not a skier. I can ski, and this to me is there's the learning curve is zero, like, or it's just like this for me. I went from nothing to being able to do it 100%, and we've seen people. So Natalia was down in South America quite a bit a few years ago, and Mike and Natalia and myself and a few others have been in Asia, up in Beijing, and all the way up to Harbin, China, in the last few years, working with other people who are in the snow industry, introducing them to this. So this is just so much fun. It's one of the things that we are promoting on the side because it keeps you skating all year long, and it's just something different. And everyone who can inline skate can, within a minute, maybe not a minute, but in a very short amount of time, can also snow skate. So please email info@inlinecertificationprogram.org if you have any questions, or Moray directly. Moray, I don't know if you want to share the link in the chat. So we've got 4 minutes left because I do want to keep everyone, I want to keep on the schedule, and I know everyone has either to go to sleep or to do other things in their day. But I just wanted to say, if anybody has anything they'd like to, if they just want to raise their hand, if they have something they'd like to comment about the ICP, anything that you like what's going on, anything that you maybe would like to see happen. If you don't feel comfortable doing that on this call, you can always go back in and take the questionnaire again, and just put it in the questionnaire that's anonymous. But if anybody, please, anybody have anything? Oh, Charles, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Chris, are we seeing any manufacturer support like we had in the 90s?
Well, that's a good question. So Rollerblade, as many of you know, Rollerblade has been consistent. They have really done what they can, and not at the same level, I would say, back in the 90s. There's a few other brands that I've reached out to, and we'll get so far in talks, and then when it comes to like, hey, do you have any money you want to give us? And then it just there's crickets. So, I think everyone's struggling. What I know, because I probably know the Rollerblade brand best because I know it from the US side, I know it from the international side. And, everyone's just trying to, in some way, keep their heads above water. Now, we all know that skating was huge in the last 2 years. So there was a big influx, but now it's starting to flatten out again. So the manufacturers, they're there with not directly, I wouldn't say, other than the ones that you'll see that's supporting, like Thompson, and most people, and most of the manufacturers that are even listed on our website are more product discounts, so it's not like we're getting big sponsorships, because back in the day, for those of you, we used to get $10,000, $15,000 of sponsorship. That's not the case anymore. So to answer your question, no. But I think there's other ways to skin a cat. And I think that we have some ideas going forward about really trying to work a little more closely with the skate shops and getting more that kind of relationship going, connecting our instructors with the skate shops, because ultimately that's going to sell the skates. And pretty soon, hopefully, either the manufacturers or those that are distributing in that country are going to really take notice and become more involved that way. But thank you.
I think as we grow the sport through ICP and the schools, we may become more attractive to the manufacturers. It'll be self-serving for them to support us.
Yeah, and that's the thing I always say, and people always ask me, what is ICP? What is this? And I try to explain to my friends, and I said, I direct this small and mighty program, and look how mighty. Look at the people on this call. There are people from all around the world, and we're all doing our own little bit. And, and I just think that little bit, you just never know, and it just grows. And this is the way life's going right now. So we're going to have our ups and our downs, but I think that we're doing good things. All of us individually are doing good things, and collectively we'll make a difference. Anybody else? Thank you. Thanks, Charles. Does anybody else have a comment about anything, question?
I'm just excited to see so many instructors on the call, Chris.
Yeah, we had 37 people that actually signed up. So, you know, I think there's a lot of good intention. So I think right now we're at like 26 people that are still here. So yeah, it's great. I'm so excited too. I was really, I hoped for 30. So I think at one point we had 30 and maybe a couple people dropped off. So yeah, I'm excited too. I really am. Oh, Michael, go ahead.
Hi everybody. It's my first it's my first time I'm calling in. Chris, I think we know each other for a number of years. I'm finally get a hold of get an understanding of what you guys are doing, which is absolutely amazing. Honored to be part of your organization, and I just want to say that as far as sponsorship here in New York, we realized a number of years ago that we can't get much of what we used to get from sponsors. So we just are open to get whatever we can from out of the industry. And not, again, not super sponsorship, but every little bit helps. And the other thing that I like today, that the message that you are trying to put in, is that to the new culture of safety, where yes, the brand names are not promoting it. And I was trying to raise it up a decade ago when I just got in, and I was told, no, they want to get people in and then we'll teach them safety. I don't think it works. But anyway, that's my take on it. So thank you for what you're doing. Thank you.
Thanks, Michael. No, that's good. And you're right. We're all going to keep doing what we're doing, and hopefully people are taking notice, and that's what I think we can do. We just have to do our best. So just a couple people, go ahead. Next.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
Chris, you know, the skate to ski platform from Rollerblade, when that launched a few years ago, I noticed that there wasn't really, it was obviously great having skiers on board and everything, but there didn't really seem to be a strong, I guess, link in with learning foundational skills with regards to that particular platform. I was wondering if there's any chance that could be encouraged more.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. I know about the program, but I haven't, my specialty isn't skiing, so I haven't really been paying that much attention, I have to say, James. But I do know the few people that have been working on it, and I can hook you up with them. And I do think, and that's kind of why to be honest, that's why I kind of feel like the snow skates makes more sense to people who skate. It just makes more sense. And as long as we can get onto the mountains to be able to use them, which is the case in most places, there's certain places you can't. Because I think when we talk about, I think Tommy said something about ICP being snobs. Skiers are snobs, figure skaters are snobs. There are a bunch of snobs. I am a figure skater, and I can see the snobbiness. Those of you if you're a certified ski instructor, you're probably a snob, because it's really hard to become a certified ski instructor. So it's not accessible to a lot of people. You have to have a high skill for skiing and a high skill for teaching. So when they see something like snow skates, or they see people who don't know what they're doing, they're not exactly as forgiving. And I think the skate to ski program that Rollerblades created, to me, aims a little bit at the ski athlete, not necessarily taking somebody who's at a lower level and training them. And maybe I've got that wrong, but that's kind of what I see from the training videos. It's a lot of USA ski athletes. So maybe, I'll get back to you on that. James, thanks so much for bringing that up, because that is something I know that people have asked, what are we doing with skate to ski? And so anything else? Because I know we're over right now. We're over our time. I see there's a couple questions, couple things here. It looks like, Benjamin, you want to be more involved with the ICP. We'd love to have you. So please send me an email. Let's figure out how to make this happen. And the Safe Sport Club program, we have a connection in Kenya. And I know that that's something that we're going to be working with somebody in Kenya to promote that safe sport program. So maybe there's something you can be doing there. So we've got, luckily Zoom is so awesome. We'll get a whole transcription of the text, the chat messages. So we'll be able to take a look at those and respond to those. And if there's anything else, if there's nothing else, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone for all that you do in your part of the world to promote safe and effective skating instruction. Your support of the ICP for many years, for many of you, is very much appreciated. I hope you have a great end to your 2022 and look forward to working with you and gathering online and maybe even in person in 2023. And I think that's all I have. So thank you everybody for being here today and for all that you do. And please email, keep in contact, and stay tuned for the new website.
Thank you, Chris.
You.
See ya. See ya.
Thank you, everybody.
everyone.
See you. Have a nice day.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Enjoy.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yeah. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
See you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Ah.
I don't know if you saw at the end there, Thanos joined.
I did. I saw that. I saw that. I saw that. Charles, are you having trouble leaving? No, you just go ahead. Do you want to go ahead and unmute? Do you have something to say?